All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning business chat for May 26th. We do these calls every week. And on Monday, we talk product. On Thursday, we talk business. And we've got two of our directors, our fast moving leaders, Janet Kiefer and Barbara Larrabee, are going to be talking to us this morning about how they get their new people started right, how they get things going. And and I think it's going to be great. So get out your notepads. I'm sure they're going to have some great stuff to share. And I'm going to go ahead and I got you pinned. Now I'm going to find Barbara and hold on a second. So good morning, Janet.
Well, good morning, Gregory, and good morning, everyone here and on the replay.
Let's see. Looking for Janet. Pin her and get her up on the screen with you. Janet, if you raise your hand, maybe I'll put you up to the top.
Okay.
Not you, I mean Barbara.
Oh.
Let's see, why is it not cooperating? So I'll get Barbara pinned if you want to go ahead and start. And there we go, add a pin. There we go. The dynamic duo. Good morning, ladies. I'm going to turn the rest of this call over to you.
Well, thank you, Gregory, and good morning, everyone. Barbara and I hail from Texas. We're kind of holding down the fort here in Texas. And we joined last year, and I want to thank everybody that came before us and the Live Younger leadership and all of you. We've learned so much from you, honestly. We were not introduced into this company with leadership, so you have just helped us grow and grow and grow. And probably about mid-April, Robin had a grow call with Barbara and me, where we talked about the methodology for setting your goals and are they reasonable, and look at the opportunity. Are they timely? Can you commit to them? And it just opened everything up. Like we were like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So from there, knowing what we needed to accomplish in 30 days, I listened to, and I have to thank Carolee Valeriano and Jennifer Starr with your getting to know people interview. So we took that, thank you very much, and we kind of tweaked it a little. And we started going through all of our team and coming back and doing this interview. And Gregory, if you can put it up, I sent it to you yesterday if you have it there. And if not, share the screen with me and bring it up. And some of you may have done this, and there might be people watching that are just joining LifeWave. We have a lot of people on our team that this is network marketing's new to them. And they're kind of like, I don't even know where to get started. And then you have people come on your team that are like, oh yeah, I've been in another company, and they bring hundreds of people with them. So use this as needed in the right place. And are you able to get that up, Gregory, or should I bring it up?
I need you co-host. If you've got it handy, why don't you go ahead and bring it up?
Okay, let me see if I can bring this up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Move it over. So just to quickly go over it, we just set up a basic form. We printed them out and we started having conversations. And a couple of things I've learned, and especially with some coaching with Robin, how do they want to be communicated with? So we said, do you want to be texted or emailed, or we've got a Telegram group, or are you a Facebook person that always wants to just be on Facebook? And so we understood that, across our team, we have everybody from 30-year-olds to 80-year-olds. Pardon me. So that helped. We also asked, did they have previous network marketing experience? And if so, what companies were you in? And what did you like about that? Or what were your challenges? And so what we found is we were able to get a background and found out some amazing, amazing skills and abilities and what their challenges were.
Janet, hold on just one second. For some reason, everybody's not muted. I'm going to mute everyone again. You should remain. Okay, there you go. So Barbara, you'll have to unmute yourself, but go ahead, Janet.
Thank you. Thank you, Gregory. Number 4 and 5 really brought out an enormous amount of valuable information. We have a teammate that's a 30-year professional in the DISC personality profiling, and he took our whole team through it. And so we wanted to kind of bring it in here to see how we could focus in and help them. So we asked them on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being low and 5 being high, how important is helping people to you? And almost everybody said 5. They love this product for helping people. How important is learning on a scale of 1 to 5? How important is recognition, 1 to 5? How important is income to you? And how important is freedom? So we just listened, we noted it down. And then we said, okay, are you a really social person? How would you rank yourself? Are you someone who wants to really study the info before sharing? Are you just, give me the patch, I'm in action, I'm patching everybody I can, or you want to be really comfortable before you're in action? And this helped us understand so much of what was going on with them. And Gregory, you've got 2 people in the waiting room, if you can there, great. Barbara and I are going to share some stories, but I'll just quickly go through this. We asked, what did you like about LifeWave? How do you see yourself? How is it benefiting you? Then we got to the income conversation, and some people could answer it clearly, and other people are like, I don't know. I don't even know what's possible, right? So we're trying to motivate them to be managers, and they didn't know what was possible, really. And then I wanted to see commitment. How could you see yourself involved within a year? All right. And what are your challenges? I think this question came from, I think, Gregory, one of your and Robin's calls. What's your home-based business? Some people, they've never been in a home-based business. They don't know how to manage their time and things like that. So we kind of got an understanding of where we could help them. And then we asked them, Robin's always saying, design your dream life. Well, what does success look like for you, right? And by that time, we could really get their why on number 12. Number 13, I wanted to gauge if they were willing to go to convention and invest in themselves, to go to regional meetings. So we talked about our business is about self-improvement. Are you going to the convention? Are you willing to invest? And people who hadn't really thought about it often went back and said, I'm going to go. And then, of course, how can we support you? And do you know people interested in it? And so Carolee and Jennifer, we gave them the link to your video so they could watch more. So I thought we could share a few stories, because Barbara and I just found these interviews, and I've got like pages of notes of people. It really opened up unbelievable conversations. And I would say clarity. People, for the first time, started to understand the business and where they were at. And we want to share some stories. Focus, like it got us really focused. Okay, what do you need to do? Because we took them through their back office in different areas that Robin had showed us, unlike your personally enrolled team, and who's going to rank up next and what do you need to do? And a lot of people go, I've never even been back here. And then direction. We came out of it with very clear, okay, you guys, in the next 30 days, let's do this. So Barbara, why don't you tell a couple stories and we'll trade this around.
Thank you. Yes, I have to say this was so rewarding for both of us. I think I can speak for Janet on that. I expected it to just be a task we needed to get done. And it ended up being just such a beautiful experience to get to know our people better. I mean, even people I've known for 10 years, get to know them better and to actually see what's in their heart and what their needs are. And discovering their hidden talents and finding out how we have to can be a part of bringing that talent out. And one gal who's just so sharp and active and kind of had blown through her whole family was frustrated because she didn't know where to get started. Well, she has a great Facebook following. And I knew that, and I had looked up her numbers on Facebook before we even started. And I said, well, I see that you only share other posts. Do you know how to make a post? And she really didn't. And so because she's local, I went over to her house and showed her how to do that. You know, we went through some of the do's and don'ts for, I mean, how can you teach Facebook in 1 hour? But we made some progress. And then she walked out of her office with a binder of 500 contacts from her corporate world that she had not yet touched. And so, I mean, it just blew me away. And so now our next step is, what is the dialogue that you need to open those doors to that whole group of people? So it was crazy. It was just crazy. And another gal, and I know that we saw this with several people. Sometimes Janet and I did these together, and sometimes we were separate. But more than one time, we saw kind of not even necessarily beginners in the industry, but who were not feeling like they were accomplishing anything. And when we really looked at their numbers and what they were doing, it was amazing in the world of the network marketing profession, how far they had come and how much was they had accomplished, but they didn't see it. They didn't realize it. And it took us going through this process to point that out to them.
And I would add there, we came in, as I've said, Barbara and I came in last year and stumbled around for about 4 months before we found Live Younger and all the resources. And we love liveyoungersuccess.com. So we're trying to duplicate that. But many of them hadn't been over on liveyoungersuccess.com. They didn't know what pieces were there, right? So we're kind of catching things up. But I think going with what Barbara said, if I go back to number 4 on recognition, many of our people didn't rank that high. They don't feel like they need to be recognized. Well, I wanted to find that out because some people in your team really do want to be recognized. And if you're someone who doesn't care about it, you're not going to do it. And it's really important. People want to be recognized. And Barbara and I were doing a call, and later on, as we worked through these questions and recognized how unbelievably in action and enrollment someone had been in, you could feel the shift, like she hadn't been recognized. It really touched her. And you could see it literally in that moment, that recognition is so important. And so we do a whole bunch of things about that. And I know Gregory and Robin talked about it, but we didn't know that till we got to this form. And then we have on number 5, we have one person that's very much a researcher. She wants to know everything. She's not going to get in action until she's comfortable. Well, her enroller is a high action person, and it was very frustrating between them. So we were able to, the high action person in the interview, focus on what she needs to do and then go help that person who's a researcher. She's going to just take time. So it helped Barbara and I tweak what we're doing tremendously.
Yeah.
Barbara, tell them about Kate.
Oh, yes. So we actually did one of these sessions with a gal that wasn't even enrolled yet. But she was best friends with one of our distributors, and she was getting ready to enroll. And we discovered all of these amazing things about her. She actually was at the launch of LifeWave years and years ago and did not stay with it. Just didn't grab her, wasn't the right time, I don't know. But when she got approached again, she thought, oh yeah, I know what this is. Well, it turns out she has huge resources. She used to be the membership chairman of a big city chamber of commerce in Southern California. She knows these people, she knows those people. And both of them are on fire because they see that they can work together. The new Kate, our new one, she is just drinking up all the training we can give her, and she is going to be a house of fire. And her partner is going to do some of that tap rooting to help her reach out to those contacts that she has. So, I mean, again, we just discovered all these hidden talents and resources that wouldn't have come about. We just would never have known. And our people would, you know, they flounder if they don't know what they don't have, or, you know, don't know what they have. They flounder, and we were able to recognize that and give them direction, give them tasks. Okay, we'll have a meeting with you next week, do this part before then. We'll have, you know, and let's set up a second training. And so we became on task ourselves with what we needed to do individually for people. And everybody's going to come out stronger for it.
Very true. And I think I would echo what Barbara's saying. You know, we're all busy, and, you know, holidays come and things are happening, and people, one went on vacation. Well, this form allowed me to come back to someone that's very gregarious and loves being out with people, and a little bit of squirrel. And I'm like, okay, remember, these were the goals, and, you know, you're going towards director. This is what we focus on. Oh yeah. So I could, she had it wasn't just let's get you to director. She understood her goals, and okay, she's back on track this week. So questions? I love it when we stun the crowd.
So anyone with a question, just go ahead and take it upon yourself to unmute yourself.
Hi, I'd like to say my name is Cameron.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Cameron. I'm new here. This is the first time I joined. My cousin Susan Carabello sent me a link to here probably like 20 times, but you know, I have parents I take care of full time. One of them goes dialysis. The other one has a stroke. Now she's in rehab, but for a while there, we thought she had dementia. But just give me a heads up. Cameron here, new, first time, and I am Susan Carabello's cousin.
Well, welcome. Thanks for introducing yourself, Cameron, and look forward to seeing you on many more upcoming calls. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Jennifer, you've got your hand up. You got a question for Janet or Barbara?
Janet and Barbara, thank you so much. This is awesome. And my question is, how could it be most appropriate and effectively used if you've already got some people going? But I think this form is really useful to go in and do it kind of after the fact. Do you have any comments or suggestions about doing it a little bit after the fact?
Go for it, Barbara.
Well, that's actually what we did. And I took all of my current distributors, my frontline people first, or people that were, I also put in a couple brand new people that were starting, but I just made a list. And I think Janet and I together in the last 30 days have probably done about 30 of these. And so we just contacted them and told them, hey, we want to do this. And this is partly for us to get to know you, and partly to help you understand that now we have a duplicatable system that you can use as you go forward and you bring on your own people. And so we set up the times, and at the time we sent them their Zoom link, we would email them this form and ask them to, you know, give it some thought. You don't have to have it perfectly filled out, but we're going to discuss these questions and kind of get down into it. But that's what we did, Jennifer. We went back to our current team that's been with us for a while and started over again, and everybody loved it. I even had one of my team members, a guy, and he said, and this was a little hard to take because I was his leader in a previous company. He said, this is the first time I've really felt like we have huge leadership and that I can go forward, and I really want to learn to be a leader. But so this process and being part of the Live Younger team just really lit him up. and he is on fire. He's got a whole brand new team going in Mexico since that conversation.
Yeah. And if I could
Awesome.
add in what Barbara's saying is, Jennifer, can you do it later on? Sometimes as I love the getting started that Gregory and Robin take us, and we've got Live Younger Success now where you can go 1, 2, 3. It's just perfect. But not everybody week 1 knows the answers to these questions. They're just trying to see if X39 works. So we kind of liked waiting at least a couple weeks. And for us, it was a little longer because of our circumstances. But I would say at any point, get back. You're going to really establish emotional connection. You really help them get clarity, focus, and direction. You know, Robin says, be a happy clicker in your back office. Well, that's great, but who's got time? You know? And all of a sudden she goes, go here, go here, go here. I was like, oh, and that's how I could finally see how many people are in my downline. I didn't know where it was. Neither did they. So some of you have been here a long time. Thank you again. And those of us getting started, and we've got Cameron. Cameron, hello, you're on our team. We're happy and we're really glad about your aunt. So again, to Carolee and Jennifer, they kicked this off and we just kind of ran with it. But I love that everyone's getting fired up now. I'm going to Orlando. It's important that I go to Orlando.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. I see this as being an IGA that needs to be incorporated, even being that happy clicker, that income generating activity, being a happy clicker in your back office, and incorporating this form somehow every day, just figuring out how you can incorporate the form, even if it's one person this week, another person the next week. It's really good. So thank you so much. Amazing content as always, Gregory and Robin. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Janet and Barbara. And Robin put a comment in here. Robin, do you want to share your favorite Covey quote?
Well, many of you know this already, but the reason this works so well for Janet and Barbara, and for anyone who's taking the time, is my favorite Covey quote: "The deepest need of the human soul is to be appreciated, acknowledged, affirmed, and understood." And by us taking the time, let me clear my throat for a second. Sorry about that. To take the time to really ask people these questions and listen is so affirming, and it gives people that psychological air. And, I'm a broken record. It's a relationship business. And by taking this time, it's just enhancing that relationship you have first and foremost. So it's in the chat if you want to copy it.
Great. Thank you.
Great. And Kate, you've got your hand up. Do you want to ask a question?
I was just going to ask how we get the form. I did come on 1 or 2 minutes late. Was that covered?
No, it wasn't, but I will be posting it in the Facebook group here right after this call.
The Live Younger Facebook group?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if I could mention one other thing, when you're starting out and you're starting to build a team and you're trying to prospect each day and you're trying to do all those things and get them started. And I think when you're first starting, it's so big. Well, what this process did for Barbara and me is, at the stage we're at, we're directors ready to go senior director and executive director. Rob was like, no, these 3 people are who you work with right now. I was like, oh, thank God, because I kept trying to do everything. And those people now are managers, are getting to director, they're becoming manager makers. The whole thing shifted our team.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anyone else have a question or feedback for Janet and Barbara in this wonderful new process that I can see everybody engaging in?
I do. I'm Julie. I'm at work, so I can't be on the video, but I can just say that it has been extremely helpful. And I think I'm one of the 3 she was talking about, because I have teams in a few other countries, and it has made a big difference. Very easy to get them started. So thank you, Janet, and thank you, Barbara.
And Liz said she's going to put it in the library of documents in the Live Younger Success website. Yay, Liz.
Yay, Liz, we love you.
Beautiful.
Gregory, Susan Carabello has her hand up.
Oh, go ahead, Susan. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, everyone. First, I have to say, yay, Cameron. I'm so proud of you. And secondly, having been the recipient of Janet doing the grow call with me, I just want to say it is very powerful. It definitely brought my squirrelishness, into much better alignment. And exactly what we're talking about, making that deep emotional connection, just really, really powerful. And I look forward to having a little more training on it and doing it with the members of my team. So thank you. And Robin and Gregory, of course, a huge heartfelt thanks for all the support and love and amazingness that you provide our organization. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. And let me just add some clarity. So I think what Janet, you and Barbara are doing is beautiful to establish that initial connection. And if you haven't already done it, like you're saying, go back and redo it, and you could just go back and say, hey, we got a new process and I'd like to get on the call and teach it to you and walk you through it. So it's a teaching and doing experience with your people, because maybe they've been with you a month or a year. You could still do it. And it's like you said, Barbara, you found out stuff about people you've known for a year that you didn't know before, and I think that's really great. And this is relationship marketing and developing that connection. And once you got the connection done, then, some people may be wondering, because there's new people, what is the grow session? The grow session is like a monthly check-in. Once you got this initial connection, you've helped them set some initial goals. It's really smart to once a month say, let's schedule a grow session, goals, reality, opportunities, and way forward. And there's a whole training on that. And your upline directors are very skilled in it. And if you're new and you haven't had a grow session, reach up to one of your leaders, because they'd be happy to do one with you. And it keeps the gears going. It keeps the goals growing, so that's how I see this fitting in very nicely as step one in the relationship building business planning process. And then the ongoing monthly grow sessions keeps it going. My 3 cents.
Honey, that was brilliant. Gears going, goals growing. Love it.
All right. Well, let's see, Susan, you've got your hand up, or you already spoke. So we'll put your hand down. Anyone else? Any final comments, or just about the bottom of an hour? This was so wonderful. Thanks for crystallizing, and again, thank you, Jennifer and Carolee, for getting it in motion. And I know Connie and I have been talking with Liz and Robin and Judy about creating something like this, and you kind of did it for us. So thank you. And so I could see it being incorporated into our regular standard getting started process. So thank you. Thank you.
You know what? This is Jennifer. Thank you so much for bringing the inspiration today of a tool that we have that I can feel my desire to breathe life back into it, particularly for those that didn't respond the first round. Now that they know us a little more and trust us, it's like, let's get everybody on board. So this is so exciting. Thank you both for sharing this.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. We just stole it, ran with it.
And
you adapted it and made it your own.
Which is great. And I do want to say what you did about addressing the different personality styles is really quite brilliant. I used to work for a company, and when we started, they gave us a form. How do you like to be acknowledged? You like flowers? You like candy? Do you like it private? Do you like it public? To be respectful of people, taking the time to ask is really valuable, because if someone does not like public recognition and we give them a lot, they don't feel good. But if we take the time to ask them and give them what they want, some people love cards, other people love flowers, some people like chocolate or ice cream or whatever. But really asking and taking that time is a way to affirm someone in such a beautiful way. So I just love that you added that in there. That was wonderful.
I have a comment, Jerry Ziegenfuss, Florida. I just want to toot the horns of Janet and Barbara. They are really, really, really great, caring, loving leaders, and they really have us all going. Thank you, Janet and Barbara.
Thank you, Jerry.
Well, the cuckoo went off, so maybe it's time for the end to call. Any final comments,
cuckoo.
Janet? That was sweet. Janet or
But we're
Barbara?
all cuckoo. We're all cuckoo for LifeWave, so I think it's appropriate.
We are. We are.
I
Final
am
comments?
muted in time, so the cuckoo would go off.
Okay, great.
Well, thank you, Gregory and Robin and everyone.
Thank you so
Janet,
much.
and thank you, Barbara and
Thank
Janet.
you.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
That was wonderful.
Breathing life into our businesses again. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Beautiful. Okay, well, happy Thursday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if everyone just wants to unmute and say your gratitude and goodbye, and we'll call this a wrap.
Thank you very much. Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
You
you.
rock,
Thank
guys.
you.
Everybody.
Wonderful team.
Bye.
Great
Wonderful
presentation.
team.
Yeah. That was beautiful. Thanks, everyone.
That was-
Thanks. See you,
Thank you,
Gregory.
Janet and Barbara. Fabulous.
Thank you. What a wonderful Zoom.
Love it. Have a
Awesome,
beautiful day.
awesome.